It was supposed to be a fun weekend, just 5 university friends camping in the Rocky Mountains, escaping the stress of school. We were looking forward to a break from our hectic lives, but one of us never came back. The night took a dark turn that none of us could have predicted. I woke up to a sound I will never forget. It was unlike anything I had ever heard before. A low, gurgling howl mixed with what sounded like someone choking on their own screams. David was gone. The sound still echoes in my mind. His boots, jacket, gloves, everything, still right outside the tent. It was as if he had vanished into thin air, as if he had just stepped out and disappeared. The forest swallowed him whole, leaving us with nothing but questions and fear. The footprints stretched deep into the forest, leading us into the unknown. But here's what still haunts me. They just stopped, as if he vanished into thin air. No sign of a struggle, no returning tracks. It was as if he had been lifted right off the ground, just a vast, empty clearing where his last step was taken, leaving us with more questions than answers. His last words were, "Something is watching us. It's in the trees. I can feel its eyes on me. I hear it breathing. But when I look, nothing is there." The silence was deafening. We searched for hours, screaming his name, but the only response was the wind, whispering through the trees. Then we found something chilling. David's undershirt tangled in a tree, nearly 20 feet off the ground, swaying eerily. There was no way he could have thrown it up there. We weren't alone that night. Something was with us. Something was watching us. Some say his voice still echoes through the valley every President's Day, screaming for help, a haunting reminder of that fateful night. Not all hauntings happen in remote locations. Sometimes they occur in the most unexpected places. Some are hidden in plain sight, like the portrait of President William Henry Harrison at the National Portrait Gallery, where countless visitors pass by daily, unaware of its eerie reputation. For years, security guards and staff have reported strange occurrences near his painting, incidents that defy logical explanation. Cold drafts in a sealed room where no breeze should exist. Muffled voices in the dark, as if someone is whispering secrets from another realm. And most chillingly, the sudden unexplained movement of the portrait itself, as if it has a life of its own. Harrison was the first U.S. president to die in office, after serving only 32 days, a brief tenure that left a lasting mark. Some believe he still lingers, his spirit unable to rest, bound to the very image that represents him. One guard swore he heard whispering one night, and when he turned, the portrait had shifted, as if it had been watching him. The eyes, they seemed to follow him, tracking his every move. Others have seen a shadowy figure in the hole after closing hours, always disappearing near Harrison's portrait, leaving an unsettling feeling. Coincidence, or a sign that President Harrison still walks among us, his presence felt by those who dare to look too closely? Fort Monroe, Virginia, one of the oldest military bases in the United States, and one of the most haunted. It's said that the spirit of Jefferson Davis, the former Confederate president imprisoned here, still walks the halls, Soldiers have reported disembodied footsteps, shadowy figures in uniform, and doors slamming shut on their own. One night, a guard patrolling the main hall heard whispers coming from an empty cell. As he approached, he felt a chill, ice-cold air in the humid Virginia heat. Then he saw it. Was it Davis himself, or something much older? Jonathan Kent was one of the best Lincoln reenactors in the country. He knew every speech, every movement. He became Lincoln. But on February 20th, 1995, during a President's Day performance, something went horribly wrong. Jonathan, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom. At first, the audience thought it was part of the act, until he collapsed. He had been stabbed, but there was no weapon, no one close enough to have done it. In the heart of Washington, D.C., historian Daniel Graves had spent his life uncovering forgotten facts about U.S. presidents. But this year, his research took a chilling turn. Among the dusty archives, he found a name that shouldn't exist: President Elias Varnum. A close-up of an old document. The name Elias Varnum is written in elegant script, but ink drips from it like blood. No textbooks, no records, no memorials. It was as if he had been erased from time itself. Yet, whispers among the oldest historians spoke of a sinister legend. Every President's Day, those who dared to remember Varnum disappeared. Quick flashes of eerie newspaper clippings. Historian vanishes on President's Day. D.C. librarian missing, last seen researching forgotten president. Daniel thought it was just a myth until the shadows started whispering his name. Then he saw it, a portrait buried beneath the archives, a man in presidential attire, but with hollow, soulless eyes. His heartbeat intensifies. That night, he heard footsteps in his home. He was alone, or so he thought. At exactly midnight, a final message appeared on his computer screen. You have one chance to forget, or join the forgotten. Sudden blackout. A single scream echoes. Cut to the next morning. His apartment is empty. His research is gone. And where his name once appeared on historical papers, there is now only static. The world moves on, history unchanged, but every President's Day, when the air turns cold and the whispers return, a new name vanishes. Will it be yours? President's Day isn't just about honoring leaders of the past. It's a day of disappearances, unsolved murders, and voices from beyond the grave. Which story chilled you the most? Let me know in the comments. Before I end things, this video is more of a draft versus a completed product due to it not coming out the right way, but regardless, the show must go on. So here it is in its somewhat raw form. Hope you folks get some entertainment from this verse. How much my balls itched having to salvage what I could with this one. Regardless, the next video will be a redo of this in the way it's supposed to come out. Be sure to look out for that soon. Anyway, if you enjoy stories like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. And remember, some ghosts never rest, but don't worry, we're always watching.